This little clip right here is going to be surrounded and talked about the Aquaman movie review, and this is a no spoiler review. This is our 2018 version of the Providence Place movie theater trip. Today we're gonna watch Aquaman. That's the movie that we're gonna watch, but my brother doesn't want to see it.
Well, no, we're not watching that movie.
And let me just say, this is the view from the movie theater up here. Here's the food court right here, all these different places. Look, Popeyes right there. And then this is the view outside the Providence Mall. It's overall like a chilly 30 degrees today, pretty nice. My brother ended up compromising. We're going in to watch Aquaman. And doesn't this guy just look like Steven Adams? Seriously. Good morning yet again, because I guess we're doing another review the next day, because that's what it is. Today is the 27th. But first off, what did we do after the mall? We went back to the hospital. And just like that, we are now leaving the hospital. There it is right there. This little clip right here is going to be surrounded and talked about the Aquaman movie review. And this is a no spoiler review, even though the poster spoils it a little bit. I mean, don't look at the poster if you don't want any spoilers. But let me just not waste your time and say, do not watch this movie, especially with the masterpiece of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, we were friends, you know.
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
Out. You want to go see that movie, especially if you're a teenager. If you're in that teenage audience, go watch Spider-Man 100%. If maybe you're an adult, you could roam around some other movies, but do not watch Aquaman. That is just a no-no. And let me tell you why. Because first of all, right off the bat, this movie is almost a romance movie. It was like this close to being labeled a romance movie in my mind, even though it's supposed to have a ton of action and in-depth character build up. I mean, no, it doesn't have that at all. It's almost a romance movie. It for sure starts off as a romance movie, and then halfway through, when you get introduced to these characters, to these antagonists, you have what, like the Black Manta and then Ocean Master. They're both arrogant and just self-conceited. You don't want that in a character. The whole point of the reason that Black Panther and Infinity War were huge box office hits is because Thanos and Killmonger were really, really good enemies. You actually kind of sided with them. Like Thanos, like everything should have a balance. You're like, okay, you might kill some people, but everything should have a balance, and why not? And Killmonger, I mean, he was abandoned as a child. Like, how do you not side with that in some sort of way? But with these two characters, it's like, why do you want to kill Aquaman, and why are you against him? I mean, Ocean Master, I mean, he's your brother. You're supposed to try to, like, I don't know, work out your brotherly issues, but they just didn't seem convincing at all. If Ocean Master and Black Manta weren't self-conceited and they weren't prideful and they weren't arrogant, then sure, this could have been a good movie with some more action, some more character development, but this did not have any of that at all. I was just like, why would I care at all for this enemy? And it's like, Aquaman is the clear protagonist, clearly. Just right now, I talked about Thanos, and a little mid-plot line of Infinity War was Thor getting his brand new hammer and then going to try to kill Thanos. If you haven't seen Infinity War, well, he didn't succeed in that, obviously, you know. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. But this Aquaman story had a very similar plot to that, because Aquaman has to go find the trident and then win in the final battle. But this time, I guess I could say he ends up winning. But in Infinity War, he did the exact same plot line to go get his hammer. So we've seen this story before, and they didn't take it out really well. I mean, Rocket was a comic relief character. He was hilarious. And Thor is just himself as a character. Chris Hemsworth is such a great actor. And I'm not taking away from Jason Momoa, but he was a great actor for Aquaman. It's just everyone surrounding him wasn't good. I mean, I see where they try to get some comedy in there, but DC, you gotta find out a way, because Marvel puts in their comedy so well, and it's so well placed. Here, DC, I mean, I was in the movie theaters and there was a lot of people and they just did not laugh at the jokes. When in a Marvel movie, it's a good time. It's a good time with action. It's a good time with laughter. But DC movies just don't bring that. Even Wonder Woman, which was an amazing movie, didn't have that type of laughter as a Marvel movie can. But that's okay. They're not trying to become a Marvel movie. They're having their own style. But this one just does not fit that Wonder Woman style. One thing that was a major theme throughout the movie was the improper use of slow motion and 120 frames per second or whatever frames per second they used. It was just improper at times for the slow motion. It didn't need to be slow motion. I wanted it to be fast-paced action, but instead they were just going like no. In Infinity War, I know they use slow motion, but I rarely saw it or noticed it. I was like, okay, I guess we're losing slow motion now. No, but in Aquaman, just overly use of slow motion when they didn't need to. I like that fast-paced battle action. Bring me Thanos! Before I forget, look at my brand new Penn State sweatshirt. But I'm not gonna recommend this movie ever, but there was some positives. First of all, Aquaman as a character, Jason Momoa is a great actor. But other than that, I really liked how the story or the movie began as it ended. So it was the same thing as like Spider-Man. As him singing in the beginning, him singing at the end. I really like that when they tie in both parts of the movie. And also, with the whole Aquaman story, I really truly understood the father-mother relationship to bred the son and having to kind of combat both worlds. And overall, the true fall for this movie is just the weak antagonist. They really had a chance because it kind of sided with them for like a quick second if the Ocean Master wasn't arrogant, because I mean, we as humans pollute the oceans with all of our garbage. We have a bunch of ships going through there. We have to dig oil. They could have gone with that story for Ocean Master as a plot reason to fight against the humans, but they never went that route. He wanted to be king. He wanted to have all the power in the world, which just never goes well as an antagonist storyline. It's just disappointing, but I was going in ready to be disappointed. Go watch Spider-Man. That's an amazing, amazing movie. Peace out.